Governors come in all shapes and sizes, and different individuals will bring differing skills to the governing body.
We've never been short of helpers before, have we? Like loads of people.
I felt I wanted to become a parent governor because I felt very passionate about the school, and I felt, that I was fed up with people walking over ordinary people like myself.
I'm enjoying it. I think there's a whole lot of new things that I'm learning, and it's just really nice to see the children grow and see how they learn. It's not all about the governing side of it, if you like. There's other elements to it.
Come on, that's it, good! I just want to get involved, so I think that if you commit yourself to a role of a governor, you have to put the effort in. And it's, at the end of the day, it's for the benefit of the community and the pupils.
How can governors become actively engaged with helping their school improve the learning environment for its children? This programme focuses on the governing bodies of 3 schools and explores the various ways the governors are involved in raising standards.
Can I just say that I think if you do put that down as an agenda point when the audit comes through, that's one of the things they will pick us up on.
School governors have a range of statutory and recommended tasks across the school year, and one of the key responsibilities in the autumn term is to approve and monitor a crucial strategy, the School Improvement Plan.
The School Development Plan, or the School Improvement Plan, is what drives the school forward. The school will have engaged in self-evaluation, finding out where it is, why it's there, what it needs to do, where it needs to go next, where it needs to put its resources, and that will be encapsulated in the School Improvement Plan.
The governors won't themselves draw up the improvement plan. That'll be done by the head or the senior management team, and detailed strategies and priorities in it will vary from school to school. But how do governors become involved in drawing up priorities for their school and monitoring the outcomes? Ivan Godfrey is the chair of governors at Two Moors Primary in Tiverton in Devon.
Contact them. They would then have had from the school exactly the sort of information that you would have sent normally by post.
The governors have agreed that one of the priorities in their development plan will be to improve literacy standards across the year groups. They decide to monitor the strategy by appointing one of their number to take specific responsibility for it.
The thing about having whether a literacy governor or a numeracy governor or a PE governor or whatever, it's just actually getting them involved in what's happening at the school, so that when I explain to not just the curriculum committee but the governors as a whole what's happening, I've got somebody else can say, yeah, I saw that.
Fiona Cridland is a relatively new governor, but with 2 children in the school, she's especially interested in literacy standards, and she'll do the monitoring.
Well, I think you've pretty much got a person covering each committee, if you see what I mean, haven't you? I think that this year I've sort of started helping with reading with the little ones, just to get a good idea of what levels throughout the school they're supposed to be at. It's obviously a learning experience for me. And I need to talk to another teacher who I believe is dealing with handwriting in particular, because very often, particularly with boys, they have problems with handwriting. Really, from my own point of view, it's just a case of trying to get to know what sort of the teachers are doing to try and improve the level here at the school. And as I've got 2 children here, it's an area which I'm quite interested in, so I said I didn't mind doing that. And this has been great to come in and see how we can try and improve and get the kids enthusiastic.
The governors discussed a number of ways in which literacy levels might be improved. The head suggested the school employ a writer in residence, and although the idea had cost implications, the governors supported it. Lucy Llewellyn is developing pupils' skills in storytelling.
So, which object did you write about? Okay?
Roy came with this idea. It was clear we had the money available, and this was far too good an opportunity to miss out through sheer protocol, and we went very much along with it. Because it's part and parcel of the school development plan. We'd wish to continue the improvement in writing work, in communication works, particularly with the boys, because this is a national problem.
One of her children was involved last week in writing some stories with Lucy Llewellyn, for example, and Fiona was telling me how she's going back home and wanting to write lots of stories and things back home. She's seeing it from not only what she sees in school with other children, but also can relate it to, as a parent governor, as to what she's seeing in her own home.
So it happens at night time.
She had to bang all the metal on the plastic. And on the TV all day pulling down the thing.
See, now we have all your ideas bouncing off each other. Fantastic.
Did you all enjoy when you read your stories out in assembly?
Yeah.
It was embarrassing.
Yeah.
We want to make children become writers rather than to turn around and say, I can't write. Because when they say that I can't write, it means they actually can't write down, or they're not very good at holding a pencil, or they can't spell it. Doesn't mean to say they don't know about a story.
So what did you most enjoy about doing your stories? Isabel?
I enjoyed it because we done lots of pictures and no writing.
Whether this post becomes permanent or not, first of all, depends on its success. I mean, our initial impression is that this is very successful. It depends on the availability of other Lucys out there who would be prepared to come and do it. I certainly think it is something that we would want to be looking to continue in some form or another. That is to say, to give added support to the staff to be able to help with this particular aspect of children's development, and this is something that we will be discussing as the year progresses.
Local development plans will always vary with the circumstances of the school. Jackie Ball is a relatively new chair of governors at Gay Elms, a primary school in an education action zone in the heart of one of Bristol's post-war housing estates.
And it frightened me really to join the governing body, because you don't know what the governing body does. There's this group of people who make decisions about schools. Ordinary parents haven't got a clue they even exist until you actually go there.
Jackie became a governor in 1999, shortly after the school had been put into special measures. Ofsted identified poor punctuality and attendance as particular weaknesses, and the governors helped the new head work out a strategy to raise standards of these underachieving groups.
It is crucial that governors feel they have a role in the school improvement plan. In some respects, governors have a monitoring role. In some respect, their role is just to look at each stage of the development as outlined in the plan and say, are we doing it? Do we have the finance to do it? To ask the right questions. Are staff getting enough non-contact time in order to be able to facilitate all the ideas and strategies in this plan?
As well as being a governor, Jackie is a working mother of 3 children and was well placed to identify one solution to the problem of attendance and punctuality, a breakfast club. The idea became adopted as a strategy to implement the school development plan. Jackie helps out most mornings, but her role as chair of governors is to monitor the success of the club, and time will tell whether full stomachs will help raise standards at Gay Elms.
It's a group of parents who come in on a voluntary basis, Tuesday to Friday, serve breakfast and then clear up afterwards, and make sure there's something for the children to do as an activity every day.
The attendance data in the school and punctuality was actually very, very poor. And also because at this school we have a slightly later dinner time. For children who weren't able to, for whatever reason, have breakfast at home, we recognised that they were actually very hungry. And hungry children do not learn well. And the behaviour of hungry children is also that they are more likely to behave in an inappropriate way. So Breakfast Club came about as a way of offering children a breakfast in school, because we all know from research that a lot of children don't eat breakfast at home.
Breakfast Club is funded by Feed the Children. We've found running Breakfast Club has improved our attendance and our lateness has gone down. We started off with about 10-15 children, and some mornings now we're up to 40 children.
Morning.
I feel, from a chair of governors' point of view, it's helped to improve their SATs results, and just getting them into school on time has made such a big difference.
First, second, third price, and every child gets a bag of Milky Way stars.
I need that view from outside, because I do feel sometimes education can be a bit insular. I've been teaching far too long, and education can be that kind of place where you get so caught up in your own little world, where it's all quite easy sometimes. You need the big picture. And what governors give you is the big picture.
Every governor is a voluntary person. They're there not because, they're paid to be there. They're there for the good of the school, the children, and they're running. They want the best for those kids in that school.
Well, it's a teddy, but hey, everyone's a winner.
The 19-strong Board of Governors at Bedminster Downs Secondary School in Bristol has been chaired for the last 5 years by Richard Bevan, who also heads the Finance and Planning Subcommittee.
Every week, 10 days. The progress has been made in that previous week, 10 days.
Bedminster Downs Improvement Plan was also drawn up in response to an Ofsted report. The report praised the governing body for its active and deep commitment to the welfare and progress of the school. But Ofsted felt the governors did not have a clear overall vision of the steps needed to evaluate the school's progress to a high standard.
Both Ofsted and HMI hold a very sharp mirror up to the school. It also highlighted a deficiency in terms of the self-evaluation of the school. So in the last 6 months, we worked incredibly hard to get the right information to the governing body.
These are corporate policies, remember?
So, helping the governing body to develop the skills it needs to evaluate the school's progress became integral to its development plan.
And there is a need for a corporate policy, but obviously there's an education dimension.
A school development plan consists of many different areas, some which are exclusively inward-looking, some that might be outward-looking. For example, our plan has elements which are absolutely targeted at raising the quality of learning and teaching, but also some with broader aims, such as trying to get more community involvement in after-school activities or twilight sessions. And so the governors have a role in both of those areas.
Along the line, John! Along the line!
One of the twilight facilities that the governors felt needed support was rugby. Luckily, Richard doesn't seem to mind the odd spot of rain.
Come on, across! Well, I think if you sign up to be a school governor, you've committed yourself to the community. I'm very fortunate because Bedminster Downs School is my old school. I met my wife at school, both my children have been through the school, and I just want to get involved. So I think that if you commit yourself to a role of a governor, you have to put the effort in. And it's, at the end of the day, it's for the benefit of the community and the pupils. I monitor the PE faculty in the school because a few years ago, governors decided that we would attach ourselves to a faculty. And I've always been a very sporty person, an ex-rugby player, and I'd like to think I can give the faculty something as well.
Go on, run it!
Good tackle!
Richard Bevan's practical support for the school is evident. But how does he think the governing body has addressed the Ofsted criticisms? And how is the action plan for the governors themselves working out?
Been involved very much in detailed discussions with Maris, making sure we understand where the school's going, where he wants to take the school, and how that's going to be projected into the future. We had a better understanding now. We had an HMI inspector in, an ex-inspector in, to give us some tuition on exactly what HMI expects and Ofsted expect. So we got a better understanding now about how we should be more involved in that process, in understanding that process more fully.
It's important that we do get people that don't necessarily have an educational background or an educational understanding. And the thing about the governing body is that it's a group of people who bring an objective view and a different perspective to the issues in a school. And just like a jury, they are well able to make the decisions on the behalf of the school, obviously if they have sufficient information.
That's it. Game over. They deserve to win. I don't want to say that, but they did.